Greetings, League fanboys and League fangirls. Welcome back to Running Down Mid. I am Exile, and with me always is my main man, Funzy. We're just going to jump right into today's show talking about the four top teams like normal. And the big one that brought their big boy brooms today is Echo Fox, sweeping up everybody this weekend.
Yeah, and claiming a 2-0 victory, going 2-0 on both matches, too. It just seemed like Acadian brought it. I mean, showed up, decided to kill a lot of people, take his kills to, I think, like 115 so far for the split.
Yeah, so he's top kills in jungle. He's been a part of or has had 14 first bloods this season, so that's a phenomenal rate. My opinion, rookie of the year. I mean, you have contracts and some other guys out there, but Acadian really carrying his team.
Yeah, and especially since he's coming from the challenger scene, it's not like he's an import. Just showing up and being able to basically say that he's here to stay and he's a pro and he's just as good as these guys.
Yeah. So week one, we had on our first show, we had a clip of Arcadian talking some smack. Week one, he's definitely learned his place. But he's backed up a lot of that smack talking too. He said a lot of the junglers nowadays aren't as aggressive, and he is incredibly aggressive, and it's worked to his favor. His team has really come behind and cultivated around him. Also, got to say that Looper playing Looper's champ, he's playing Singe top with his Singe skin that he won from Worlds. It's rough. He's really putting it to people with it,
and it's causing the teams to realize that they have to ban that out.
Yep.
They cannot leave that champ for that player because it is his player.
Nope, it's his player. It's his world skin. They're really starting to mesh, and Echo Fox is climbing, doing some great stuff.
I'm very happy that he's my top lane pick in fantasy. Yeah, it did score me the win this week.
So good points all the way around. Bravos to Echo Fox. They're tied for second place with TSM and Flyquest. Or no, they're tied with
Immortals.
Yeah, with Immortals, but they're right there behind TSM.
Yeah, they're 4-4 right now. Same with Immortals, so they're both technically in fifth place. Flyquest and TSM are in second.
Are tied for
and
second.
And C9 is top.
Yeah, so TSM only losing to Echo Fox and having only lost to C9 as well. Those are the only two games that they've dropped. So let's just go ahead and talk about TSM. Really surprised that they lost 2 games in a row to Echo Fox.
So the first game for Echo Fox, I was like, that's the TSM practice round.
Yep.
They're gonna warm up and they're gonna play really good for the next 2 games, like they have been doing almost all split.
Yeah.
But it did not seem to work out because Acadian just steamrolled the second game. It was his show, and it just seemed from the get-go he turned that on, and there was nothing that Svenskaren could do to counterbalance that.
So Echo Fox is incredibly aggressive. Everybody on the team is taking up Acadian's play style. Looper's aggressive. You have Froggen diving.
Froggen and Corky going like package crazy.
Yeah, to
secure kills and somehow making it out of there.
It works for them. They're going very, very kill crazy. TSM though. They've only picking up 1 game 1 win this split so far.
Yeah, and that was Team Envy this weekend too.
Yeah.
They definitely 2-0'd them, but I mean they're the last place team right now, so it wasn't
it's not a big thing. So the TSM's losing their first game every other time except for when they played against Envy.
I saw that they have the most games played so far this split, and it's definitely not looking like it's going to change.
TSM again, week 4. Sometimes they look brilliant. Sometimes they look sloppy, and I don't understand.
I wonder if it's an endurance thing. They have the most games, so they've got the most stage time right now because they weren't short games too. A lot of those games were really long. I wonder if it's just that now we're seeing the team start to trend down because they haven't quite hit the plateau of comfort between work and not working and relaxing because you can stress your players too much and then get negative results out of that.
That's true. So last summer split, TSM was able to lay claim to the title of player with the most kills. in NALCS. They got rid of Doublelift, and now Doublelift lost his crown and his job to Wild Turtle, who now touts reigning kills supreme in North American LCS. He's now at like 1,003, or I don't remember. It's some crazy number. So, I mean, bravo to TSM, always having those kill champs, but I think Turtle's one of the low points on their team. Big question marks. I don't think that him and Biofrost have meshed well. Biofrost gets caught out a lot roaming, while Turtle gets out of position and gets caught out a lot. Like it
definitely doesn't seem like they're syncing.
They are not,
and because of that, you're having plays where you're giving up a kill and giving a 4 to 5 advantage for little objectives like going to ward by yourself.
Yeah,
I mean, you should know that if you're going to cross the river and you don't have any sight at all, you should definitely take a buddy.
So they always have your exit buddy with you, and they do not. Granted, we're faulting TSM, and they're still tied for second, only losing to Echo Fox and C9. But the Echo Fox loss, I don't know if I count that as a huge gain for Echo Fox or a worrisome point for TSM, because they have had those moments where they just look garbage. They're garbo, and I don't understand that, because they're not holding up their end of the bargain. They don't have that typical TSM swagger. The attention that people have in a split, it's not paid towards TSM right now. They're not getting the love or the accolades that they normally have.
And this is not a world-class caliber team that we're seeing either.
Yeah.
Like, they always talk about how they want to sit on the world scale and they want to be a number one team in the world, but we're not seeing that right now. I mean, we're seeing, an NA team. We need to see somebody who can beat Korea.
Yeah, so they're a top tier NA team, but I also don't feel like there's that pressure or that worry, like, oh my god, we got to beat TSM. They're so strong right now. They don't have that. I mean, I don't think that there's any team that feels that they can't beat TSM. The top two teams, though, that seem to be flying high, the only reason why Flyquest is in second place now is because of our game of the week going into a 3-game matchup between Flyquest or HighQuest and C9 was amazing. It ended up being a great 3-game series, and to be honest, it looked like Flyquest owned the first 2 matches.
Yeah, and it's a shame. Flyquest did walk away this weekend with a 1-1 score, dropping the game to C9. But it definitely could have gone either way on that.
Yeah.
C9 capitalized on a bad Baron call in the first game, where they had I want to say a 6.5K lead in gold.
Oh yeah, it was
and then that bad call. And usually, I think it may have been jitters, because Hyde just wanted to seal the deal, and he knew that if he got that Baron, this game would be over. They would walk away with the game won. But it backfired. They were able to kill them all in Baron, and it blew the team apart.
So it was a real emotional weekend, a real emotional match. You could see that on the faces of all the players. Lemonation, High, Altec, Balls, Moon was feeling it. He was not in his Moony groove for sure. And then C9 really felt the pressure. It looked like everybody was fully invested. It was a hard-fought, hard-won series. It was really, really good. And it sucked that there had to have been a loser and there has to be a winner, because, man, it was such a good game.
Yes, and coming down to Game 3, where we saw the bug interruption off of the MF Ultimate that didn't seem to be applying any damage. It just seemed, as soon as that happened, it changed the dynamic of where the game was going to go. So I'm glad that they called out the bug and were able to reset the game.
For once, it wasn't a TSM versus CLG match where we have to wait 40 minutes because somebody wants to play that dragon that never works on the pro stage. So, I mean, it was great to see 2 other teams actually finally have a bug and it not be a huge point of salt for everybody. So that was great.
And I want to give a call out to Riot. Them being able to rewind the game to that point instead of remaking the whole game.
Yeah.
That's impressive, because you don't want to have that kind of oh, well, they only won because they remade the game, and the second game they definitely did better. Because it did seem like C9 had the advantage, especially in the mid lane, because it didn't seem like High could ever get his groove. And to remake that would kind of put like a cloud.
It would have real bad, and I'm glad that they didn't remake it. I'm glad that whatever Zon technicians that they have at Riot to carry over Echo's ultimate and do like a chrono shift, because it just went right back to where it was. Like, those moments after never happened, and were to pick the game up. I mean, it even confused the shoutcasters. They didn't even know what was going on. Didn't even know the game was playing.
They thought they were watching a replay.
They thought they were watching a replay, and they're like, "Oh, he died this time. That's weird. How did that happen?" So I mean, it was really neat that it was able to go back, and it was a long break, and I was really worried about that long break. But it was good to see that it picked up where, right where it left off. They got the kill that they should have got, and a tower, and a dragon. So the game seemed like it shifted towards Flyquest way, but then C9 picked it up and started rolling, and it was really good.
The look on Jat's face when he realized he wasn't just watching a replay.
Yeah, it was classic, because Jat.
But Moon and his Evelyn pick, and I don't think I've seen Evelyn played by anyone else yet this split.
No.
And then finding Sneaky, like just a little bit away from the team, and then capitalizing on that.
Yeah, so Moon had two of his pocket picks. He got to play Nidalee and just missed Qs. I mean, he had some great kills on Impact Top, but he got a little greedy, went back up there, and and it just they burned a lot to get a little, and sometimes they burned everything they had to get nothing. And it didn't help them out that much. The ball's not recalling fast enough. He was trying to solo split push tier 2 turret when C9's banging out their, in bottom lane inhibitor, and he still doesn't recall until they almost have a Nexus turret down. That was just such a bad play all the way around on that aspect. But it was a good matchup. It was a good series. C9 still sitting on top, and they look really hard pressed to beat now, because the first game of that series, they were down. They came back to win. And, that was pretty much against their little sister, their shadow puppet, their other team, their Samsung Blue to their Samsung White. I mean, it was really weird to see that. But C9 looks really unstoppable right now.
Yeah, and I think Flyquest was the last hurdle, too. As soon as that was done, C9 can now say that in North America, they are the team. They're going to go the whole way. It's going to come down to whoever can beat them. And, every split has that one team.
Yep. So hopefully they're not going to be like Immortals and dominate the split and then do horrible in the playoffs. But I don't think they will, because I really want to focus on Reaper as their coach. His champ select, how he does that process is great. If you don't think that Reaper is the great coach, or Reaper's the reason why, he stands behind each player as they're picking. He's fully engaged in communicating with them. And then when High blind picked and locked in that Zed, the crowd went nuts. High's going to wreck faces. And then C9 picks up that Zillion and totally takes High out of the game. Like, what are you going to do? Who are you going to ulti on? Because we're just going to bring him back to life, or I'm going to double bomb you as soon as you get out of ulti, and you're not going to get that extra damage on there. So what are you going to do?
And it happened. I mean, all he did was throw the bomb on himself, and he's like, "Come at me, bro."
Yeah, and it didn't work, and he really punished High in lane, because High's like, "Well, I can't beat you in lane, so I got to beat you in roaming." So he's going left and right and top and bottom and every which way to try to pick up a kill, and he didn't get those kills, and he lost levels, gold, CS, because Jensen just stayed in lane going, anytime you want to come back, bro, I'm still here.
Yep, and he just kept farming and kept getting levels, and at one point, I think he was 2 or 3 levels ahead of him.
Yeah, it was 3.
Yeah,
it was rough.
And then with Zillion, if you let him get experience, he's going to also give experience to his other teammates.
Exactly.
So it's a twofold mistake to let him just sit there and farm, because at the same time he's also making his other lane stronger.
Because so Zillion has the one ability that's damage ability, but he stacked it, he maxed it out,
and he hit it when he needed to,
and he totally negated an entire person on their team. So you may be like, oh, well, Zillion only has one damage ability. Yeah, but he also took an entire player from the other team. So they were literally playing 4v5. It seemed like. And that's a tough mountain to climb.
And that fadeaway bomb on Zed when he knew he couldn't get away.
Yes, that was great. I really wish that High would have broken out into a dance montage right there. Him trying to recall though was pretty funny. Yep. But he didn't even get on his throne to sit down. He was dead before it happened, which was quite hilarious.
Dethroned, yeah.
But I mean, so we've had a bunch. This weekend was a crazy weekend. Lots of ups and downs. The gap between bottom tier and mid tier are closing. The two bottom teams right now are Dignitas, who look like they're not improving at all, and then Envy, who you all know I talk about it every week. They're my relegation alert team, and they still haven't gotten off a relegation alert. They've only sealed one match and one match only, and Dignitas is not improving at all, and that's worrisome. Granted, Dignitas was bought out by the Philadelphia 76ers, and their motto is respect the process. And right now, Dignitas has a lot of problems with communications. They have two team members that the Philadelphia 76ers have bought translators and English tutors for, so that not only are these guys working on coming together as a team, but also working towards being able to speak English. So, I mean, the 76er organizations put a lot of money into the team, so you got to respect the process. This split doesn't look like they're going to do anything, but if they can keep from being relegated, I think they have a really good shot at maybe making some waves, hopefully, in summer split.
Yeah, and as a new team, you don't expect, and I know that they really rebranded Apex, but I mean, they brought in so much new talent that as a new team, you don't expect them to come in and unseat the championship teams, the ones that have been there for so long, who have set up a brand, who have a process. It's a building thing, and it's just like with Echo Fox, we're starting to see that gain right now.
It's so nice.
Where money has been put in, and now you're starting to reap that benefit later on.
Yeah.
There was a hard year for Echo Fox, and now they seem to have found their pace.
They do. New blood. Everybody forming to the New Blood playstyle. Echo Fox looking good. Top 4 teams in AR are really good, but the next ones up, are all neck and neck. You got some other ones that are just keeping pace.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to Immortals, who were able to bring themselves to 4-4 now.
Yeah.
So them and Echo Fox are tied and in the 5th place. So they're definitely up there with them. They're definitely above. They're in the top half, and they can make the plays. They can progress. There's still half a split left.
Yeah.
So I mean, we could see if they can actually pull it off. Maybe a Cinderella story in the playoffs. I don't know.
Who knows? It's happened before. Crazier things have happened. So it would be interesting to see how the rest of the split goes. But we're halfway through. It's been really exciting so far. Can't wait to see what happens on the last half. So be sure to check us out next week, guys. Always like, subscribe, comment, share, retweet, post. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, and hopefully you can get some Twitch games this weekend and watch us. We're gonna shoutcast the Saturday and Sunday games. So if you don't want to listen to Jat and those guys talk about it, you can hear some hardcore, edgy stuff from us, Bronzo to Bronzo, and show you what it's all about. So please follow us this weekend, and we look forward to seeing you guys out there on the Rift. GG, yeah, GG guys.